Hey, it's Calvin and Carolina, and we're on a mission to show you the best vegan food in New York City.
This week, we traveled to Greenville, South Carolina to visit my mom's family for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving can be a notoriously difficult time for vegans. You have to explain what vegan means, you have to navigate all the dishes to see if they're actually vegan or not, and everyone's asking you tons of questions about why are you vegan, how long have you been vegan, and can you eat this, can you not eat this? There are a couple different kinds of vegans during Thanksgiving. First, there's the aggressive vegan, who's trying to convert everyone, and is always trying to pick a fight about whether it's okay to eat meat or what other people think. We definitely felt that way before. I remember when we went to Thanksgiving with my family, we were like, we're gonna cook the best meal you've ever had before. And it was a lot of pressure for us because we wanted to impress everyone. We wanted to show them that vegan food was delicious and just as good as every other kind of food. It doesn't always go so well because all the pressure and the stress makes it hard for you to enjoy having a good time. And then if you're not having a good time, it's hard for other people to have a good time too.
Sure.
And also it's hard to accept the reality that not everyone is ready for that conversation. And Thanksgiving might not be the best time to have that conversation.
Or any holiday for that matter might not be the best time.
I mean, we're all for supporting and promoting vegan food and vegan culture. That's why we started this channel.
Right.
We're all about that. But from our experience, Thanksgiving and holidays might not be the best time to start that conversation.
For me, when I went vegan, I specifically went vegan because of factory farming and because I made that choice of, I did so much research and I read so many articles, and I found out that factory farming is just truly horrible, and that's where I started my vegan journey. I think not everyone feels that same way when they think of factory farming. I think it's a hard subject, just like a lot of other subjects that happen. And a lot of people, when they first hear about those things, they don't want to talk about it. For me personally, that subject forced me to take action. It inspired me to stop eating meat. But for some people, when they hit a difficult subject, it forces them to they want to ignore it. And that's okay. I think everyone has their different journey. And now I'm not only vegan just because of factory farming, as in against factory farming, but I'm also vegan for the environment. I'm vegan for the health benefits. So there's so many different reasons that I am vegan now. I am a complete advocate for animals and animal rights, but at the same time, like Calvin was saying, I think there's a way to be productive about being vegan and a way to actually make people want to go vegan without guilting them and shoving those factory farming images in their face, you know. I think for some people that's what they're most passionate about, and that might work for some people, but we're here to be practical and we're here to make a lasting change over time. I want to change people's lives. So I think you have to be really smart about the way that you introduce veganism to people, because especially to my mom's family and to people in strong cultures, I come from Southern and Dominican cultures, and a lot of cultures that have a lot of meat and dairy. And when you start to question their recipes and their culture, they don't like that. So I think we just want to be really mindful because we love our families and we want to honor them. And we understand that going vegan is difficult because it's, to some people, when you don't eat their food, it's actually insulting. So we want to show our family that we love them. So we take their recipes and we veganize them.
Number two, I'd say, is the complaining vegan. The vegan who shows up and makes a face at every dish because, ooh, this has this, or this is not vegan, or can you believe this? Or I understand, because for some people, going vegan was a very life-changing experience, but it's really easy to focus on those things during Thanksgiving. I think this is also a hard way to approach Thanksgiving with your family, just because if you haven't seen your family in a long time, people don't respond well to negativity. And so if you're complaining and nitpicking about family traditions during a holiday, that can put people into a really bad mood. And now when they think of veganism, they're gonna think of that vibe. So I would say if you have complaints, you want to think about them and then think about when is the right time and who is the right person to approach to constructively make a difference in the situation.
Yeah, I would say you want to find advocates in your family who are willing. Hopefully you can find one person in your family who might be willing to change one dish. And I would suggest one dish at a time.
That's smart.
That you could change. So for me, one of the dishes that I thought was really easy to change was the sweet potato casserole, because its main ingredient is already vegan, sweet potatoes, and the only obstacle was butter and milk. So One barrier for my family, and I know a lot of families, is that they don't want to buy things that are too expensive. And as we've talked about before on our channel, some vegan foods can be really expensive. So now, luckily, they call it plant butter now. Country Crock has come out with these plant butters, and they're really affordable. So if Earth Balance is too expensive for your family, then you can go out and get some cheaper butters. And that has made my family more willing to buy the vegan products when they can find them at Walmart and Target and Publix, wherever they're going. They see it, they're like, this is a good price, of course I'll buy it. It's an easy substitute and it doesn't cost me that much more money.
A third type of vegan at Thanksgiving is the resigned vegan. The vegan who has just given up any hope of having a good time this holiday. And so you just sit in the corner picking at the lettuce leaves and drinking the cranberry sauce. Like that's the only thing that you can eat. I think it can be very lonely as a vegan. I understand that. Nobody wants to put effort to prepare things for you, and then you don't want to bother them, so you think, oh, I won't have much to eat. And this is not also a good solution either, because you should be able to enjoy yourself during Thanksgiving, right? This is what we've been working on, trying to figure out how can we have a good time during Thanksgiving. And our solution has been to make our own dishes. We don't have to make a dish for everybody, but we can make a small dish for ourselves that we're going to really like. Last year we made fried oyster mushrooms, and we loved that.
Yeah.
And people were looking at our fried oyster mushrooms like, what's that? I want some of that. Right?
Yeah.
We're like, too bad, it's just for us. We love this, so we're going to eat this.
In the past, we made a shepherd pie vegan, so it's got lentils on the bottom instead of like ground beef, and the mashed potatoes on top. And because my family doesn't really do mashed potatoes, they saw it and they're like, oh, I want some. So, we were like, we made this just for us. But then, a lot of the time, once people see it, the thing is, people really like to talk about things that they don't like, and they're pretty skeptical. But as soon as they smell it, as soon as they taste it, they change their mind pretty quick.
Yeah, something else that we started making was spring rolls. And now Carolina's sister loves the spring rolls and also loves making them with me. So that's our tradition that we've started now. So that's something you can think about too, is how can you start new traditions with your family? Carolina now makes her rolls. Now her whole family expects her to bring homemade vegan rolls because they were just that good.
Yeah, and that was something that I had a goal of. So I think for some people, like Calvin mentioned, the pressure of making vegan food for your family can be too much. But for me, that was actually quite inspiring, and I love to bake. So I thought, well, I can do this. I can make some really good rolls that are vegan that my family will have to love. My goal was to make them impossible to know that they were vegan. They were just amazing rolls. I've tried a bunch of different recipes over time. I veganized my great grandmother's roll recipe. She was the one who used to make rolls in my family, and those are pretty good. That's back when I was using flax egg, but my new secret recipe is using aquafaba. So that's my new recommendation to anyone that asks me about vegan supplements and baking. I always recommend aquafaba, which is just the water from chickpeas. You can use from the can. I actually make my own. If you put it in the Instapot, it's that liquid, or you can put it in a regular pot. When you make it yourself, you actually have to cook it down because it needs to be a little bit more concentrated, otherwise it won't really work. I've been taking Joshua Weissman's milk bread rolls recipe, and I've been making it vegan, so it's pretty easy. The only thing that you need to substitute are the eggs, which I use the aquafaba, and then butter, which I use vegan butter. And my family, every year that I've made those, has been super impressed. My cousins don't eat a lot of Thanksgiving, and when they tasted the rolls, they were like, wow, that's when I knew that people were coming back for them. And that made me feel really special because I had made something vegan that my family liked to eat. It's the forming of new traditions for me that it's like, this is something that we all love, bread, and we're making it vegan so that we can all enjoy it. And it's like, you're not even thinking about it that it's vegan, but now it is, and we all enjoy it. It's just that simple.
The fourth type I would call is the amateur chef vegan. For some people, you don't know how to cook very well, and Thanksgiving, suddenly you're expected to make something and it's supposed to be vegan, and so you're searching the internet for a good recipe, and you make something and it doesn't turn out very well.
It's like the first time you made it, and it's really bad.
So,
we're looking at you, vegan mac and cheese recipes.
Cooking is hard. Not everybody has a lot of experience cooking. So that was definitely us a few years ago. Like, I feel like I just started cooking within the last 5 years, and I've definitely gotten a lot better, but when I first started, there were definitely a lot of rough recipes. And the thing with cooking during a holiday, again, is stressful and the expectations are high and you basically have one shot. So this is very relatable. And I'd say, one, give yourself some grace. Everybody's going to make mistakes. No one's going to be perfect. And two, maybe try the recipe a week before or a few weeks before so that you have time to adjust it and you can, when you do it for the holiday, it's not your very first time.
This is something that I do regularly every year now with my rolls, because for me, baking, as you might know, is really hard for getting the right ratio. If you make one mistake, it could completely not work. With rolls, it's all about getting them to rise, right? So since I only make the rolls about once a year, sometimes I forget stuff, you know? It's just one small detail that might mess them up. So I usually make them the week before, I take notes, and then it really helps me the week of Thanksgiving because I just made them and I remember, okay, I did this and I think it didn't work as well, or I need to remember to make sure to brush them with vegan butter at the end or salt them. And it just really brings them that extra step to make them extra special.
All right, the last type of vegan during Thanksgiving, I say, is the catering vegan. So this is the vegan that orders food from a vegan restaurant or from Whole Foods. And hey, that was us this year. We ordered one dish from Chef Chloe's menu that was offered at Whole Foods. We thought that was really exciting that such a well-known vegan chef was partnering with Whole Foods to have a menu for Thanksgiving. So we ordered their mushroom roast. It tasted quite good.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was nice to be able just to pick something up for Thanksgiving.
So Calvin just made his own mushroom gravy and we put that right on top and it was super delicious.
To be honest, I wanted to order everything on that menu.
Yeah, I personally, I was fine. Like if it was just us, like not coming to my family's Thanksgiving, I would have been fine with ordering everything. But my family, they're the advanced vegan family stage because they've started to really be okay with certain sides of being vegan, and that's just how they are. So we've got certain dishes on our side, like sweet potato souffle. We've got the green bean casserole, usually made vegan. My rolls, usually made vegan. My mom will set aside part of her broccoli salad that she'll let me make vegan. We have a lot of vegan options at our Thanksgiving now, which I'm super grateful to my family for. And that took years of advocating. You know, it's just building trust and letting people taste food that's good.
I really wanted to order a lot of vegan Thanksgiving meals from different restaurants in New York City. So if you're in New York City, there's actually quite a lot of places that have full out amazing Thanksgiving and probably even Christmas menus that they have. My mouth was watering looking at Satan's Helper, Orchard Grocer, Veggie Castle. I wanted to order from Louis, plant-based meats, and there are a ton of others too. And so,
oh yeah, Yeah Dog does a really good holiday roast. Yeah Dog brand.
We just were out of town for this week, so we couldn't try any of them, but if we were in New York City for Thanksgiving, we would definitely do it.
But the Whole Foods ordering the vegan meal for two is a great option because that's nationwide. So anyone who has a Whole Foods can just go and order it, which I think is amazing.
I love to cook again, but picking up really delicious food allows yourself not to have to stress over cooking, and then you can enjoy yourself.
Right.
So we went over different types of vegans during Thanksgiving. We have the aggressive vegan, the complaining vegan, the resigned vegan, the amateur chef vegan, and the catering vegan. And wherever you are, whichever one you relate to, hey, we're all on this journey together, trying to learn and grow. And so let us know in the comments which type you related to the most, or maybe there's a different type of vegan that you want to suggest. If you're interested in any of the recipes that we used for these meals, let us know and maybe we'll share them in the comments for you. This is something that we really enjoy, finding good vegan recipes, and could be future content if that's something you're interested in.
We hope you'll have a wonderful week. See you next time.